are so delighted, Chief, to welcome you to Brattleboro, to welcome you to Brooks Memorial Library, and to have this opportunity to share your presence with our wonderful community. And we couldn't be more pleased to have you here.
Thank you very much, and I'm very honored to be here. Thank you. Because most people don't bother to look at a website. We all know it's Facebook. You know, before I came here as a chief, I didn't tweet. I had no idea about tweeting. But now apparently I have a Twitter account. I don't really know how to use it, but I think Facebook is telling a lot, and it's getting people talking, you know, whether it's good or bad, at least people are talking. I read the comments, and I see people are starting to talk and have a conversation. And really, that's where everything else starts, you know. And like I said, I think that this is a great place. I think it's a great town. I think that it's had hardships like everywhere else. But, you know, I come with a fresh pair of eyes, so they say. And we'll try ways to make it be the way it used to be. Like I said, it really upsets me when people come up to me and say they're afraid to walk down the street in this town. That really, really upsets me, you know, on a personal level. You know, I walk down the streets, and I've actually been accosted. I've been accosted by someone who's wanted to sell me drugs. I've been accosted by bullies that thought I was alone when I was walking.
Here in Brattleboro.
Here in Brattleboro. And, you know, nobody wants to talk about that side at night when you're walking. That's why I do it. Because if I can experience it and know what I'm talking about, then I can tell you, and I can know how to handle it and how to figure out what to do, right?
Oh, so you're not in uniform then?
No.
Oh,
No.
No, they would take run
Oh,
away.
that's awesome.
No.
That's wow. I'm
No,
impressed.
I walk the streets. I walk these streets all times. All times. I walk early morning. I walk mostly alone. I do walk with my officers. I have my officers take me to some of the places maybe where I shouldn't be alone. And I know that too. I understand that. But like I said, if I walk the walk and talk the talk, I got to actually walk the walk, right? So I can talk the talk, right? So if I'm doing it and I'm experiencing it, then I know what I'm dealing with, and then I can figure out how to deal with it.
I just recently purchased pepper spray. Never in my life, and I haven't used it.
Oh, that's a good thing, right? Thank goodness.
It's legal though if you have to, right?
You know, I don't know Vermont law. In most states it is legal, and I believe someone told me that it was, but I can't say that exactly because and I think what you'll find about me is I don't try to talk about what I don't know. You know, I think too much of that goes on. I think there's a lot of people talking about things they have no idea what they're talking about, but it sounds good if they keep saying it. They make you convinced that they know what they're talking about, and that won't be me. If I don't know, I'll tell you. I'll get back to you.
That's awesome. What a culture shock though from New York City to here, huh?
And you know, too, I'm glad you said that too, because I want to just clear that up, and that's another reason why I thought this would be a good idea. What I read about me, and so I think that a lot of people think that I'm from the big city, and I think that that's caused some angst around people too, that they think I'm from the big city and I'm gonna come with big city ideas and big city thoughts, and nothing's further from the truth. You know, I wasn't NYPD because I know someone blamed me for the hell that's going on in New York right now. I don't understand that. That I was not NYPD. I was Port Authority for almost 27 years. And I did deal with a lot of smaller towns and municipalities. I had to, you know, because I dealt with New Jersey towns, not the big city. So I had many working relationships with municipalities, smaller towns. I dealt one-on-one with community leaders of all faiths. You know, I still speak with the rabbis, you know, and they ask me how I'm doing and give me blessings to make sure I'm doing okay, you know. So I just wanted to just straighten that out too, that I'm not just like from the big city and coming here, you know. That's why I walk around so I can know what I'm supposed to know about here in Brattleboro. So straighten that out.
How serious is the department understaffing?
Very serious. Very serious. It's something that I really, really have to deal with and tackle, and look at how to not just to increase numbers, but also to make us more effective. We need to be more effective in what we're doing, and to do that, I have to have these men and women feel like someone has their back. I think that it's been too much of blame. They're all being judged, which I find funny, that when people say, don't judge us by who we are, what we look like, the color of our skin, what we wear, but then I find that so much of that is going on right now with my officers. Some of the messages that are sent to me are doing just that. And I think that it's important for me to be the face and the voice for them that speaks up, because they're doing outstanding things out here in Brattleboro that no one knows about, and they're feeling it too. They're feeling put upon, they're feeling abandoned, and and feeling like they just can't catch a break. And I think that that's important for people to realize that also, because I really am impressed. I'm actually very impressed with these officers that have remained as officers, because that's another thing. People are leaving this profession. They don't want to be police. It's just the stress levels are just too much. So I applaud them for that also. And I applaud individuals in the community that do say hello to them when they're walking down the street, that do say good morning to them, and let them know that they still have people that value them being in the community.
I would hope that your presence here will make it somewhat easier for officers of color to join our department.
I would love that too, and and that's the message I'm trying to put out. People that may have never even thought that they wanted to be a police officer or to be someone that would even want to go in that profession. I would like to change those ideas, but of course I can't change anything for the state of Vermont. I can't change anything for any other state, but I'm hoping that I can change something right here in Brattleboro, and that's really what my goal is.
But new recruits have to come from the police academy, or they have to have some kind of a college degree, and
No, they don't have to have the college degree. We can interview them, we can speak with them, we can vet them, and then they will go to the academy. And that's what I would rather. I want them to come to us first. I want to see what kind of person or what kind of police officer they're going to be. I have rather high standards, and I want to be able to deal with that person. But also, people that put on, they think, oh, I'll go be the police, and they have the wrong idea about what that means. And we know that. Some people have the wrong idea about what it means to be the police. They think that it means all powerful, it means that I am the end all and end all of everything. And then some just believe that if I put on the uniform, I don't have to show people respect and everything. I don't want that. I want someone who has high integrity. I want someone who knows how to handle difficult situations. I want someone who knows how to respect the people that they're dealing with. And I want someone who knows how to speak to people not in my ear range, okay? Because you're representing me as well as the department. And I think if people understand that, come talk to me and find out more. And I'll make it so that you can ride with my officers. I'll make it so that you can spend time with my officers. And, we'll give you the grand tour, and we'll let you spend time with them and see what they do all day.
May I show you something?
Excuse me?
May I show you something?
Show me? Yes.
I want to show you a family that grew up in Brattleboro.
Okay.
That's my daughter.
Okay.
My son is Casey.
Okay.
They grew up
Nice.
here, and they're going to be
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
something that's close.
Yeah. Yes. And I on the whole, I feel very welcome here. I must say, everyone has gone on above and above, beyond to make me feel really good. I like I just love how, the community will come out and just say hello to you. I love that. I'll walk in the morning, even before I go in the office, I'll walk around or I'll go get a cup of coffee. I don't need to get a cup of coffee. I have a coffee maker, but I want to support local business.
That's awesome.
And I want to put myself out there.
That's awesome.
I don't want to just be a voice that everyone sees in the paper or everyone hears on the radio, because you will hear me. I will talk and talk and talk.
That's
yes.
awesome.
But I like to just be like just me. And if you come up to me while I'm having my coffee and want to have a chit chat, I try to give everyone equal time. If I have time, I will speak to you, and if I don't have time, I will tell you that, make an appointment and come see me. So I try to make sure that I stay available for anyone that wants to talk to me. I think that's important also. If I say I'm going to be a part of the community, and if I say I'm going to have an open door, then I have to do it. I can't continuously speak and not show by my actions that I mean what I say. Right?
Where do you get your coffee?
Depends. It depends. I've gone to a few places now, but if it's before work, I might walk down to the Mocha Joe's or the Works.
Have you been to the one that just opened up there?
Yes, I have, and I actually have met the owner.
Oh, good.
Yes, I actually have met Ruth, and we've had a long conversation. Yeah.
Well, I think you're the right person at the right time.
I do too.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Somebody has 10 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you.
I'm the new Methodist pastor in town. If there's anything our church can do to support your work, let us know. My question is, how are you going to address the police dealings with persons suffering from mental health disturbances?
Okay. Right now, what I'm doing is I'm working with the town manager's office, and we've come up with a couple of ideas that we think will be beneficial for the town and for people, of course, with mental health issues. And hopefully we will be able to put together a collaborative team to address this. And we need, of course, mental health professionals to be a part of that team. Because I really want to pull away police from these. If someone's having a mental health issue, that is not a crime. As long as they're not trying to hurt themselves or hurt others, but just having a bad day or maybe didn't get medication or whatever, those kind of things. So we're working, diligently to try to come up with a plan for that. Of course, like everything, it's going to take time, but I'm fortunate. I feel very good that I've gotten so much cooperation, and just the town manager is outstanding. I will say that, because even if we don't agree, we can sit at the table and talk, and that's how you start to get things done. So yeah, so we'll be, I just like I said, everything, and I laugh because I think this is my third week or something. So give us a little bit of time, and then maybe we'll do another one of these, and and maybe I have even better news in a little while, Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
My name's Judy Malloy, and I lived in Brattleboro pretty much all my life. And the amount of traffic has tripled, and the speed has got to be lowered on the main roads, like Route 5, Route 9. It's like you can't even cross, because it doesn't matter whether you're from in-state or out-of-state, they don't go speed limit. And even then, there's sections like up in West Brattleboro that should be lower because of the speed system up there. They got it down to 30 or 25, I think it is, but it needs to be slower, because you just can't cross the street comfortably nor ride your bike.
It's funny because I actually had a conversation today about speed and speed on Main Street, and I understand what you're saying. I can't say I can fix it, but I can say that I can speak on it, and I do have a meeting coming up with the Traffic Safety Board, and I can actually, yes. Mm-hmm. Right.
Wilmington
Yes,
is
yeah.
Route 9, and that's regulated by the state. Years ago, I did get a petition. I went to John Burgess, he's not alive now, but he was a governor, assistant governor of Vermont, and a lawyer. Right. And he said, what you gotta do, Judy, is you have to get a petition up in your district, which I did. And then from there, I had to take it to the select board. They had to support me, gave them a copy of what they had to send it up to the Transportation Committee in Vermont. And that's the only way it's going to happen. But I think there should be a way of where Elwell should be able to go along with you and the truckers and everything else, without having to go. I went from Westgate to Mountain Home, and back then there was 425 children, and they were riding their bikes down to Memorial Park to swim. And in the wintertime there was a skiing. But anyways, I just think it's an important issue that should and needs to be addressed.
I agree with you, ma'am. I think that it is an important issue. It's something, it's one of the issues that, I have asked questions about, because just even driving here and trying to see what is the speed limit and what people are actually doing on the street.
Okay? There was no problem riding your bike down Western Avenue or up Putney Road. The car behind you would automatically slow down. They won't do it today. And again, it doesn't matter whether it's in-state or out-of-state. And you're looking at a person that, I'm alive, thankfully. I have had 2 accidents on Route 9 already. Years ago, about 30 years ago, I was on Jim Nelson's moped. And the moped has a different way of stopping, whatnot. And being left-handed, I screwed up. And I went right in the middle of Route 9. And if it wasn't for Mr. Decker back then, who lived up at Westgate, you wouldn't be looking at me today, believe me. I was seriously injured.
Thank you.
And then also, about 5-6 years ago, I was just simply trying to cross Western Avenue over to Moore Court. No, not Moore Court, Hayes Court, excuse me. And somebody just went whipping right along.
And that's the thing too. I find that is an issue. But what I also find is that I'm trying to learn like what actually, because when you talk about that, what I found out about Vermont roads and what's our roadways and what's state roadways and what we can or cannot do.
Because I experienced it, that's why I'm sure.
Yeah, and I absolutely hear
I did
you.
go to the select board a
Yeah.
few years back, and it was not Elwell, it was Remillard, I believe.
Yeah.
He said, well, we can make it one way to get out of Glen Street, Judy. That's not the answer, Jerry. And that's a death trap to get out of there. But I took a person that lived on Glen Street in a house, okay? The rest of it's trailer down there, and that's where I live. And she went with me, and she supported the idea that, I came up with this idea. Instead of the blinking light of where the fire station is, they bring it up to Glen Street and make 4-way signs like they have at Martha's Corner up here on Oak Street. And it would slow traffic coming down Route 9 finally, and then that section, then we've got the school, and it would slow the traffic as a result both ways, because that death trap
Can you
called
go?
the deli,
I'm leaving.
is,
I have it in my head, and I don't have answers, of course, today, but I do have it in my head now. you know, and I do have questions about with the speed. So that will be something I will address at my my traffic safety meeting.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
I was curious to hear from your new eyes what you thought the potential of Brattleboro was.
The potential of?
Yeah, when you said you love it.
I see, and with my new eyes, which are new old eyes, my hope is that it can come back at least to some point of where it was, where everyone feels safe, because I think that that's a lot. That's what a lot of people have come to me with that they don't feel safe walking down the street in Brattleboro. I've been approached by women, you know, in so many different areas that are saying the same thing to me. So, you know, that, like I said, that really bothers me. And so with my foresight, what I see is, you know, people coming back and saying, Chief Hardy did what she said she was going to do, and we feel safe walking down Brattleboro. And that's going to take me time, but that's also a message that I'm putting out there to certain individuals that eventually people will feel safe walking in Brattleboro. So that's my mission right now.
Just had a quick question, I guess, with you. We met at the
We met,
inauguration.
Yes.
Gary Stroud, District 2
Yes.
representative. I'm on the Citizens Police Communications Committee. Probably you already know we're trying to do some type of referendums and, you know, figure out what direction to go with policing in Brattleboro, transparency, defunding or refunding, or however we're going to go about doing this, and trying to get things to go ahead that's equitable and fair on both sides. Do you see or have any plans, I guess, on how we're going to go about going forward with this? Do we have to deconstruct or reconstruct or revamp the whole CPCC, or just try to figure out some way that we can all come to some type of common grounds of which way and where to go with the policing and with the citizens in Brattleboro?
Yes, I don't, and I tell you, it may have been a time, from what I understand and from speaking to people that have lived here forever, there may have been a time that may have been the case.
Right.
All right, quite honestly. I will tell you, as of today, I don't think that that's the case.
Right.
I think the officers that have remained are just the officers that I want to work for me. All right, and I think that they understand what I expect from them. I've made myself very clear with that. And I think with these officers, I need officers that have maturity and experience. Because if you just go and just get rid of all your maturity and your experience and you bring in all the youngsters, now you got to teach them the same things you're trying to accomplish. So, you know, you have to embrace the ones that are here that have stayed, first of all, because I commend them for staying.
Right.
Okay, and then, you know, I think that they will help me be able to accomplish the things that I want to accomplish working with the community. And I think too that I have also ideas, because I know someone asked about that I haven't spoken on my plans, you know, for when it comes to policing. And I cannot, I will not be in the weeds, so to speak, about what my plans are, because then my plans won't work, because everyone will know my plans, right? But I can tell you that I have plans, you know, and it's going to take some work. You know, I'm working with my officers all the time. I walk with my officers. You know, I walk the beat with them. You'll see me walking with them. I go to the places that they need to go to, you know, and as I stated, I go out by myself. And I walk Brattleboro at night. So I know what plans I need to put in place. It just may take me a while to be able to do that, and I'm hoping that when I can sit down with leaders of the community, they'll understand that and help me accomplish those things, because I think that all just helps the entire community, and that helps the whole community grow, you know, if we can get those things accomplished.
That'd be good. I guess you could come in at one of our meetings as well too, just to see how we do our meetings at CPCC. Pretty much have an idea, and then that way I believe the select board is going to meet with their implement to see what direction and how we're going to revamp and how we are doing our job. Because we have to come together, we got to work together no matter
Absolutely.
what. And that's what it's
Absolutely, yeah. And yeah, so I will definitely, I will meet with you guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank
yeah.
you.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
I'm fairly new to Brattleboro, and I'd just like to thank you for bringing your credentials and your plans and all your presence to Brattleboro. I think that's wonderful. We're kind of a backwater, but you're exactly what we need.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank, like I said, I'd like to thank everyone in the community that's given me a chance, and that's really what it comes down to. You know, I can say all day long all the wonderful, great things I'm going to do, and you know, I can tell you I have a plan for everything, which of course I don't. You know, I think that once the community knows they can trust me at what I say, that's going to help me be able to accomplish a lot more in the community. You know, and they see that I'm a person of my word. I think that's what's going to be important, and that's going to take time. Like, you know, my third week, you know, maybe my third month, I'll have accomplished that.
And Chief,
Yes, sir. Yes,
did you live in New York City?
I did for a while.
I mean, while you were at the Port Authority and so on,
Yes,
and
Security there.
in the city itself,
I lived in the city. I lived in New Jersey.
in Jersey.
Yeah, I lived in New Jersey for 10 years. I lived upstate in the Catskills for 10 years.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
Do you miss New York City?
No.
Just the shopping.
No, just like, you know, really just my family, and I can go see them. You know, I'm close enough now I can visit them again.
I call New York
it's
City
all
black,
good.
white, and dusty.
Yeah.
Are they in New York City? Your family is
Yes.
also in New York City?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I spent most of my adult life there, and I miss it.
You miss it?
I love Brattleboro, I miss New York.
Yeah. Not so, but now we have the Amtrak now, right?
Right down here.
Yeah. So now you can go
Oh, I've done it a
in
lot.
the day. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But if you probably don't take the train, but if you do, it's a long haul.
Yeah. It is. It is, because my cousin took it and she told me it's a long haul. Yeah.
She did.
Yeah. Yeah. She told me it takes all day.
Faster stop at every stop over there.
Faster than walking in.
I'm
Yeah.
so glad you're here.
Thank you.
Bring yourself a little New York, a little of everything.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Take a year to get the accent out of there.
Yeah, I think that's gonna take a while. I got a couple of them mixed up in there, not just New
I
York.
could hear it.
Yeah, I got some West Indian, you know, I got some Brooklyn. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna go away though. Hi, Curtis.
So there are a lot of police departments around the state that are grappling with officers who are sympathizers of the insurrection and that are sort of white nationalists. I would hope that you have tools in your toolkit to be able to route out those that might land here.
And that's what I'll go back to. I want who's trying to come here to come see me first, you know, and those are how you do those things, because you have to talk to them. You have to find out what their history is, where they grew up, what their family's like, you know, things that, you know, weren't done in the past because it was too much trouble or it took too much time, you know, to find these things out. So those are some of the things that that we're doing right now, actually. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm working, you know, of course, with the doctor that's at the academy. I had a long conversation with him this morning about measures, testing measures, mental testing, stuff like that. I had a very, very long conversation with him this morning also, because I reached out to him because I want to understand, and I want to understand what to look for, what to talk about, you know. Hey, this is my show.
That's right.
Anybody? Yes, sir.
Like you, I'm a transplant. I was in Westwood, New Jersey for 40 years, and I just moved up here a little under a year ago. And I was thrilled when I read your interview in the Commons, and I think this is going to be wonderful. You're going to find this is a very accepting community that will be very happy to have you. And but I did wear this hat tonight in your honor, and well, I'm sorry, you're a Mets fan. Oh well, I still like you, but I figure one thing about Brattleboro is it's probably one of the few communities you talk about walking the streets tonight where I can wear this hat when the Yankees and the Red Sox are playing and not be too worried about it. But I wanted to ask you, I haven't looked into this. What's the percentage of women on the Brattleboro Police Force, and is that something you would look to increase?
I absolutely would look to increase that. My percentage is maybe 2. And I will tell you though, I would embrace that, to have more women. I think that, women bring a different perspective to the table, especially when it comes to policing, and especially when it comes to dealing with community. And even myself, I've been told that. I've been told that by male police officers, that sometimes it's just better just to deal with a woman for a boss, because we're not having that macho back and forth. You have an issue, let's talk about it. Let's see what we can do about it. And that takes down some walls. So that opens up more communication. And I think that I would embrace women coming in trying to be on the Brattleboro Police Department. Absolutely.
And more minorities in general.
And more minorities.
I think that would be wonderful. Yeah.
I think that would be outstanding.
It's long overdue.
I think it would be an outstanding thing. I think me coming here, I felt it just was right to be here, because I get that why Brattleboro, I get why Vermont, I get why you're not retired anymore. I get all of that, and so I think it's important. I think that I would be a good advertisement for the Brattleboro Police Department, because there may be those that are like, there's no way I'm going there, So, come on, brave with me, and, if they want to brave with me, I took the leap, and very happy that I did so. That's it.
Are you shaking hands, Chief?
Yes, I am, sir.
My name's Kurt Dimes. I'm the director of Brattleboro Common Sense. You spoke with my colleague, Graham.
Yes.
The policeman in Scotland.
Yes, I did.
And I just want to say I'm around if you want to make a local call.
Thank you.
I'm glad that I think that went very well.
I think that went outstanding, yes. Yes, we had some good conversation. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to talking with him some more too. I gave him some things to look into.
Oh, he's got big plans, bigger than the disarmament plan.
Yeah.
He wants to overhaul education for the whole United States.
Yeah.
And we've butted heads about that because his ideas are so ambitious.
Right.
He thinks it's small potatoes to start a limited disarmament plan in a small town.
Yeah.
He wants to save the United States.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we talked about it, and I think it was we have a mutual respect because of our histories and our experiences.
Yeah.
And I think I had a very respectful conversation with him, and I think that I may have got him to think about some things a little bit deeper.
Good. I'll be talking with him soon.
Yes, you talk with him soon.
Thank you and
Thank
welcome.
you. Thank you. Thank you. What you eating over there? What's that? An ice cream sandwich?
Did you find a house yet?
No, I have not. But let's put it out there. Let's put it out there. I saw something today, and let's put it out there. Let's just do that. I was told by somebody to speak it out into the atmosphere. So that's what I'm going to do. Yeah.
Looking for prices then?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Chief, I was hoping to bring your dogs. What kind of dogs do you have?
Golden Doodles.
Oh, we got to see the golden doodle.
Golden Doodles, yes.
More than one?
Yes. I have 2 Golden Doodles and a cockapoo.
You like the mixes?
Yes. Yes. Allergies. I developed allergies after 9/11, and I had shepherds. And so after that, now Golden Doodles cockapoos, any mixes like that with the hypoallergenic. Yeah. 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 Oh, there you go.
I'm going to take a chance on you, risky question.
Yes.
You had a few years to go.
Yeah.
So, is there an anecdote or some memories that you have of those years that is sort of either a defining moment or something that gives you like a movement forward?
I'm not sure it's that.
Well, something that happened that you remember that said, yeah, that like was where I had the aha moment, or that's where I knew where I was going.
You mean as far as now, where I ended up now?
Something that you still remember from
Well, I have a couple of things that I remember that were my
that's what I'm
aha
getting to.
moment. Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
What's
yeah.
the big one? What's the one that might make sense for today?
For today. That's a good question.
And I'm sorry if that's a tough one.
No, yeah, that's a good one. I gotta think a moment. I've had a few aha moments, as I said, but I think to make me realize I wanted to be in policing and be a police officer. I think that it was solidified when I survived the first World Trade Center bombing. And at that point, if I didn't leave, then I might as well have stayed and kept doing the job. So I think that was one of my biggest, I always say my trial by fire, but I think, and I got the kids out, yeah. Oh, you know about that, okay. Yeah, okay, so yeah, we got the kids out, and I think that's when I just knew that this was what I wanted to do. Like I said, I didn't make the decision not to do it anymore, so, and I could have. So, yeah, that was my aha moment. 1993, February 26th, because I want to make sure everyone remembers that date, because everyone knows 9/11, but, we have to honor the people that were lost on February 26, 1993 also. Those ice cream sandwiches must be good.
You want one?
No, I don't. Not right now. Thank you.
No, they were for the big one.
Oh yeah, and I see. Yeah, that's good though.
Eat one while you're talking about it.
Yeah. Looks good though. Anybody else? Hi. Nice to meet you. Thank you. Okay.
Board chair of the Go-To system. We're looking to install the program we use a lot here. Using a pretty strong program. So.
Oh, okay.
We'll be in touch.
Yes. Okay, so yeah, set up and meet with me.
Yeah. And welcome.
Thank
It's
you.
great to have you there.
Thank you very much. Yes. Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Audrey Garfield, and you've probably been asked this so many times already, and I apologize.
Okay.
But I'm wondering what it was that, why you decided to come out of retirement to move from an urban area to Little Brattleboro.
The dogs would love it.
My dogs will love it. Yeah. But no. Actually, I was living in a very rural area in Virginia just before I came here. I've been in Virginia, but coming out of retirement, it's like I never really retired. I left that position and that job, but I've been active. I remain active. I mentor young officers, not just young women officers. I sit on the board of Feel the Music Foundation, which is a nonprofit that brings music to children that have suffered trauma. And also we've spread out now to aid visually impaired elderly. And I'm very proud of that program because we were able to keep the programs for the elderly going during COVID so that they didn't feel that they were alone and get destitute because they were alone and couldn't do what they wanted. So what we did was we purchased drums for all of the elderly people in our program, and we did phone. We had the musicians that teach the classes do phone classes to keep them active. During COVID, it was a very big thing. So, so I raising money for that, of course. I'm just always doing something, but I felt like this was really just something I wanted to just be involved in, and I felt that it was so much hope here, and even just looking before I even took the job, just, I've been to Dover, I've come to Dover for vacations, and I just felt like this was just the right place for me to be at the time and bring some of my experience, because, there's not too many places that I can go that may be as, embrace me as much with my experience, and if people are willing to listen to my experience, I think that the conversation I can have is quite different than some other individuals, because I've been on, like I say, both sides of the fence. I've been harassed and victimized, and I've been very proud of my career, and I've gone far in my career. So I think that I can sit at the table and have a conversation. I feel like I will sit at the table and have a conversation with anyone, as long as it's a respectful conversation.
Well, I don't know you, but I feel proud of you just to hear you talking about your building of community, sort of even once you left your work in Manhattan and went to rural Virginia, that you continued to build community, and so amazing that you were able to keep the seniors engaged during COVID last year. So welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Terry Carter, may I shake your hand?
Yes, ma'am.
I think it's an honor to wear a uniform. And yeah, a lot of people in my family served in uniform in World War II. My dad was a sergeant in the Marines, and it's an honor. And for a number of years, I was affiliated with a TV station over at the old high school, and at the time, the police department was down below. So, this was an old building, so you could often hear things. But first of all, I understand in stressful jobs, people need to unwind. And not to be sexist, but often men need to get together and be, and over the years, I would overhear things that was rather shocking and sexist and racist and scary, like aggressive. And then one time, my daughter, who was a minority, I had her come sit down with the police chief. At the time, we've had some good police chiefs. And he got it, this police officer overreacted with her in Harmony parking lot. Instead of asking her to get out of the car, he told her if she didn't get out, she might get shot. And she was in high school. And I was one very unhappy mother. But I knew the police chief, and I wanted to have her have a good impression and trust authority. So he was great. We were sitting in a room, and she was there, I was there, he was there, and we were talking about it. And he assured her he was going to consult this particular officer. And all of a sudden, in the other room, there's this, they weren't listening to us. They probably had a stressful time, but this guy started yelling, four-letter words and, very inflammatory thing, and everybody was roaring. And I think they were probably letting off steam. However, I believe when you wear a uniform, there is a code of conduct, even when you're in your workplace. And I would like to believe there would be other more educational and enlightened ways for people who do have very stressful jobs, and I credit that for them. But over the years, I mean, and even with some personal experiences where I've had to have police come to my place, they would sometimes come out with things like all young kids just deserve a kick in the ass, and there's a mentality that I think needs to be reformed, and not out of contempt. I just think it's an honor to wear a uniform, but there's also a code of conduct that those who have that honor need to live up with in all facets of their job, including in the station where they work. Yeah, and so just comment on that.
Yes, I agree. And I would never, first of all, anything and everything can be checked, right? But I would never lie and say that I have not at some point maybe done these things as a young officer, or said the wrong words, or just been so emotionally just like uptight, and you're in the office and you're trying to get, But I understand exactly what you mean. It's a feeling that when the community wants to be able to respect you and to respect you being in your uniform, you have to carry yourself a certain way to make people want to see you as that, And it has been a cultural thing in law enforcement, in fire departments, and construction workers, iron workers, absolutely. And so I agree with you, ma'am, and I can just say I can strongly remind my officers that will not be the case, and that they're conscious of where they are and cognizant of who may be nearby them and how they react to the public when they have to come to calls.
Well, and not only that, the thinking can be toxic. We had a dog shooting a number of years ago, and it sort of exposed this internal culture that kind of reinforced a certain negative mentality. And yeah, I don't think it's just, I think it's also to keep things in a healthy perspective.
Well, I have, I agree with you on that also. And of course, I can't comment on every single thing, but I can say that a lot of the things that you're talking about are conversations I've started having with my officers. Mm-hmm. We are having those talks, and we are dealing with some of those issues now. I don't think it's rampant with this group that I have now. I don't see that. But it is something that we address, and we talk. And I talk with my officers. I sit down with them, and we talk about things. What the stresses that they're going through, and how they're feeling when they're out in the community. Also, because that makes a difference too. Because if you don't feel so pent up and aggravated and stressed out all the time, you find those kind of incidences come less and less.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'd like to give you this in case you're interested. We're building an alternative economy. And,
that's interesting.
Yeah.
You have to talk. Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Yes?
I work with Pathways Vermont, which is a local organization that my colleague and I provide supportive housing for people with mental illness and who have experienced chronic homelessness. Over the past year or so, we've started to enjoy a really nice working organization with the local police, which has been wonderful, and just kind of wanted to hand you some cards, and we look forward to meeting you.
Because I'm supposed to sit down with you guys soon, I think.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to it.
So just make sure you call and set up an appointment with me, because I'm really interested in speaking with you. Somebody told me go home. Notice how they said it and kept driving though, right? Anybody else? Yes? Yes? Hi. Hi.
Yeah. Just got it.
That's it?
Do you miss the big city?
No. No. If I could just bring my family here with me, and I'd be fine just here in Brattleboro. Yeah. Do it? I'm trying. Some of them won't leave the city though. Some of them are gonna stay in the city, but they can come visit. Yeah. Right, well, absolutely. So nobody's coming then, because you can't find any place. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. And I'll call you for the appointment so my
Oh,
son-
absolutely, yeah,
My
yeah.
son can reach out.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. Just call my office. Yeah. Since I don't have my.
Just want to say I'm Riley Wood. This is my husband Cliff. I wrote you a note. I'm so happy to have you,
You
here.
did, like
Yes.
you would, and I wanted to send actually thank you cards out. I just
Oh,
haven't had a
no,
chance
no,
to write them
no,
to say thank you
no.
because I just thought that was just so good to get all those notes and cards and
That's great.
everything.
Well, we look forward to having
so
you over
glad
there.
that
We
you're
don't live in
here.
Brattleboro, but we're really glad
We
you're
live
here.
in Westminster, and I chair the William County Sheriff's Advisory Unit, and I think you met with Mark the other day.
Yeah,
and of course, one of our interests of our advisory committee is that we have a really good relationship among the three police agencies. I'm also on the executive committee of the NAACP, and some of our experience has been that there's not good communication, and sometimes even records of people they've stopped and who've had bad experiences. So our president Stephen has been away from Brazil, but we're going to do something.
To meet with Stephen.
Yeah, he's back. He just got back from Brazil.
Oh, okay.
Which is he needs to. Anyway, he's also working on his doctorate. But we had a long conversation yesterday. We want to do something for you in September. The NAACP will welcome you, but also we will look forward to sitting down with you.
Yeah.
We have a great chapter here. We've been really. When I came here 4 years ago, these graduate students at SIT had started. It's really amazing.
Yes,
what
I've
they've
seen
been able to do.
and I've heard. Yeah, I've heard. And I really would like to speak with you guys too. And I've been gathering some information and data as far as my department, and I think that it would be a good conversation to have with the chapter.
Good.
Yeah.
And we moved here. We lived in New Jersey for 17 years, and then in New York for 14. We moved here when I was hired. And it's in Rockland County. You know Rockland County?
Yeah, I know Rockland County.
And so we lived there. So we also know the New York Port Authority. And I think, like you, I'd be glad I'm here.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
You at the Port Authority for a long time.
Yeah.
Well,
27 years.
Welcome.
Thank
you.
you.
Why don't you come up and have a meal with us?
We do.
sometime?
We
You can
want you
talk
to
and you
do
can
that.
meet all these people.
Thank
talk
you.
about
We really look
Thank
forward
you
to it.
so
We're so
much.
glad that
very
you're
much.
here.
Thank you.
And my card was in the note with her, so.
Okay, so I will
So
have
if we
it.
can help you in any way.
Thank you. Yes,
Okay.
thank you. Look forward to it. Bye-bye.
Yes.
It's hard to know with the mask, right? Oh, that was great. Good to see you. Good to see
Where was this? Have you, is that what you've experienced or seen here? Destroying things? Right, yes, I've seen it, yes. But I really don't think you would see that here because I've been in conversations out there.
Mr. Ozer?
Hello, Miss Garner.
Especially with some of the things that we've been discussing, and I've been discussing. It's Maria in there, isn't it? So I would not think that that would be a situation that would be here when I think that we're trying to come up with so much better solutions to what's going on. You know, I really am not I don't want to focus on people that are victims or victimized. I want to focus on the people that victimize them, you know, and that's really what, you know, and whether that be, you know, you have homelessness, you have upstanding citizens that are homeless.
And we have
You
many
have-
of our homeless have jobs.
Right, and you have
We get
homeless
up in
with
the
jobs that
morning,
can't
we
afford
take a shower
to.
somewhere and go
Yeah,
to work and come back
exactly.
and sleep in our vehicles.
Exactly. See, and that's, and you should feel safe in doing that. You know,
I
and
do feel
and
safe
and
because I've got a loud mouth. You know, I understand some
but
women
some
that
don't
feel
speak.
safe.
They don't speak up, or they're afraid to speak up. And I don't want them to feel that either. I want them to feel like they have a voice. But I also want them to feel safe from others that would come into that dynamic and abuse them and abuse them and utilize them in ways that they shouldn't happen.
And the other thing I'd like to see, and it's out of your personal hands, city council, mayor, town manager. Right now, Brattleboro does not have an ordinance about sleeping in your vehicle. It's okay to sleep in your vehicle. They don't come and tell you at 3 a.m. to move along, as the big cities do. And I hope you'll continue that compassion also.
Yes,
Appreciate
I will.
your time.
Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely. Thank you. Yes.
What is the best number?
What's my office number? I don't know my office number. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
What's my office number?
12-257.
Hello.
Chief.
Hello.
Sorry, there was
I'm
no
sorry.
question.
I'm sorry. Send them out. Yes.
General, I think it just
It's all
cut
right.
off.
I gotta go.
Oh, okay.
Chief, my name's Stefan Grandstatter, member of the Jewish community in town. I'm a former board member, former officer. I know Adam. And last year I met with Chief Fitzgerald. Our high holidays are coming up, and I gave him a schedule of our services and everything. Because they were doing like a cruise through. I call it a drive-by, but I was told not to use that
No,
term.
it's that. Yeah, that's.
So I would like to give you my card, and if you could just drop me an email when you have a chance, and I'll send you the schedule that week that's coming up, because our holidays start early this year.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Pleasure to meet you.
Oh, pleasure to meet
I
you
know
too.
you're probably got a busy schedule, so I wouldn't try to make an appointment with you.
Oh no, you know what? You can.
But that way, I'll send you the schedule. And,
That sounds good.
You know, it's for the whole year because it's Hebrew school and everything else. So
Okay.
Just kind of a continuance of what I started with Chief Fitzgerald.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Great.
Absolutely, yes.
Pleasure. Welcome to Brattleboro.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Paul Guyton, Clark Street, welcome. I hope you're happy here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, have a good time.
Yes.
I came late, so I apologize if you've already answered this, but what do you think, what do you consider to be the biggest obstacle facing you right now, like going forward? I mean, I know that's a big question, so if it's out of context, don't be afraid to say it later, but.
Yeah. But I think right now the obstacles.
Yeah, plural.
As I stated, I want to keep the offices that I have right now. I think that they're a plus. I think that they're a plus to me because they're known in the community. I find that they live in the community, so they have that maturity about them to be able to deal with the problems of what's going on in Brattleboro. I think the opioid crisis is a big one, but not the addiction, because I don't feel addiction is what we need to police. I think that that's a town issue, but the suppliers of the opioids are a police issue. And so those are in my mind. And then, people approach me and they tell me so many things, and I know I can't fix everything. But what I can try, right? But what I can try is just to make us an integral part of the community, and people feel like if they need help, they're going to call us.
Well, I wish you well. I come from a family of police. My father was a policeman, my uncle was a policeman, and my other uncle was a chief for 25 years. So my daughter's retired from Massachusetts as corporal, and Salem Police Department.
Okay.
So, yeah, I feel as though I always need to know more. But I know it's a tough job. And again, I've been anything I could possibly do.
Thank you.
Don't bother dumping another name and number on you right now, but welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Yes, her husband.
Hi.
I'm Joyce Marshall. I'm a local journalist. I just came to see you and welcome you to the community. And hopefully we'll have a wonderful time.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I'm the new senator of the county.
I think you probably discovered the few that works in Brattleboro. You probably did not see it in the city.
Oh yeah, But I, like I said, I didn't live in the city for quite a while. But, I lived 10 years in the capital. And,
That's a long commute.
yeah, I drive 2.5 hours to my office every morning. 2.5 hours back every night. Because I lived in the Catskills. I just wanted to be in the mountains. At least when I'm off, and I enjoy my dogs. That's it. I did it for about 2 years. Hey!
Hey! Long time no see!
Long time no see.
Hey, Elizabeth Hans. Just another person in town.
Just another person in town. I think so. Thank you.
The fear at night is true, but it's also, we're also in a phase where people are going to bed earlier and shutting down, and the town is quiet at night. This is something about this. And so there's not as much like bars and restaurants open at night, people out on the streets. So it is a time of kind of a shift, where I think being in at night is like,
How you doing? People love the article.
I think so too.
Everyone that I've seen,
I think you're absolutely right.
they love the article.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yes.
Feel exposed?
I do feel exposed.
Yeah, I would think.
Joyce wrote the article about me. And Randy took the photos.
Hey! Hi!
And I'm really glad they didn't screw that part up. Use that picture in the cover.
That was a good picture.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Hi! How are you?
From the co-op, because
Okay,
that
okay.
intersection there is crazy. Like there's a lot of blind spots around cars,
Yes.
and they really don't stop and look both ways. And I live right on that corner, and so like what happens pretty often too is that the drivers will wave to me as a pedestrian and then still keep going. And so like I've been almost hit twice. And like it's when they wave to me, and so I think it's safe to go, but no, they just keep going. And so I've asked them like how much it would even cost to have a crosswalk light signal put there, and they haven't even respected me enough to give me a budget for it. Because like as a district representative, like I would love to approve that budget, but I'd like to know what it is in advance to the representative town meeting, and also that one. Across from the Amtrak station to where the Whetstone station is, it's close to the bridge by Hinsdale.
Yeah, I do know that actually.
There's that crosswalk there, and people will sometimes just like try to drive around the no drive line to go into Malfunction Junction, and just like because like that's a welcoming station, it's a really heavy pedestrian area, then I would just really appreciate the crosswalks there. And I tried to run to be or get appointed onto the traffic safety committee too, so that my concerns may be respected more. And the members have the capacity and the authority to allow more members of the public to have a seat, but right now they only allow one member of the public to have a seat. Everyone else is a municipal employee, and so they refuse to allow more members of the public to even have a seat.
You're not getting heard.
Well, they hear me, but they're not cooperating, and they're obstructing the public from having active participation too. And the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting something different. Yeah. And so I hope that maybe we can have more sanity together.
Well, I definitely can speak on it and say we need to see what this is going on, because I've
seen
some
what's been going
questions.
on.
Yeah, and I've had questions. Like I said, being here only 3 weeks, I've had so many questions about just how do you cross the street, And then someone pointed out to me that I did it wrong one day, which I thought was hysterical. Because I'm like,
what's the wrong way?
I basically ended up jaywalking because I was trying to run and get out of the street, but I guess I didn't do it correctly. I didn't even know there were correct ways to cross the street, but
I figured with four-way stop,
in
you're fine until the timer
Brattleboro,
runs out.
So I understand what you're saying, though. I'm not, and I know that it's DPW because when I asked about signs, that was who I was told to go talk to, was DPW, and so I went and talked to them about these studies that they've been doing. Apparently, I haven't seen them. Tomorrow was going to be my first time going to a meeting, and that's the reason I'm going, so I can see what actually goes on, because I have no idea. So
They've said that they've had videos there of people getting hit by cars, and because it's like right here, there's an incline of people trying to speed up to that turn, and then there's also a decline of people trying to like slow down to that turn too. So it's really dangerous.
You turned the apartment across from me, it's inside, like over to the other side of the bridge, and like toward the Blue Moose Cafe, or just...
That's the second one I was talking about.
Yeah, because I know there's no crosswalk there. It's
There's no crosswalk there at all, but like further down by the Amtrak station, there is a crosswalk there, but I just think that drivers can see the lights sometimes easier than they can see people moving.
No doubt about that. Well, the whole thing's going to change, I guess, in a year or two anyway with the new bridge. That's a question of getting from here to there.
I wonder if there's if that's the case, they're going to change that.
The change of the whole intersection.
I've been told that that's all going to change, but in the meanwhile, for safety.
That's the thing, yeah.
I wonder if there's some kind of temporary safety.
I would love that, because I'm just trying to survive.
Right. And I can't.
Yeah, I've had a few nervous moments there myself.
I can speak on it. I can't promise anything. But
I know there's no promises. That's realistic, but I've tried to RSVP to so many people that I think would be involved, and for whatever excuse they can't be present to speak on it. So I appreciate that you will be there. Thank you. Have a good night.
All right, you too.
All right. And
I didn't get a chance to shake your hand, but I wanted to shake your hand before I left. Very nice meeting you.
Thank you. Hello, Emma.
He has a gift for you.
Oh my goodness, that is so beautiful. Thank you.
From our garden. This is my wife, Robin.
Hello.
I'm Andy.
Hey, Andy.
I guess we're still maybe in this phase. This has,
I'm having my pop.
you're meeting a lot of people today,
There you go, girlfriend. Thank you.
So welcome to town.
Thank you very much.
And are you living right in Brattleboro?
Right now, yes, I am.
Awesome. Well, welcome to our lovely town. We're glad to have you.
Thank you. It is a lovely town.
It is.
It is a lovely town, and I feel very welcome. Thank you very much.
Well, very good.
When you gonna come visit me? You wanna come visit me at the police station?
Hey, that'd be good, Emma.
You wanna come visit me? You gonna take a ride in the police car?
Emma just finished 3 years of College Steps, which is a supported program, and she was part of the Castleton commencement this year.
Oh, you go, girl.
And she just finished a 6-week job up in Families First, mentoring younger folks in a job workshop. Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye-bye. Excellent. That's outstanding.
See y'all later. So she's an up-and-coming young leader.
Yes, up-and-coming young leaders. I need up-and-coming young leaders to come and sit down with me. Okay?
Hey, Emma, that sounded like an invitation.
You set up a meeting to come talk with me.
We will call you and
yes, you call me and we'll set up a meeting.
Go for a ride in the police car.
Okay, I think that's what we're going to have to do.
Because she's on the cusp of deciding what her career is.
Okay.
And maybe it's in law enforcement, who knows? Or mentoring youth.
Mentoring youth.
Mentoring youth.
Yeah.
Emma has a lot of,
maybe.
You have a lot of skills in that department.
I have a lot of skills there. And I'd like to hear about some of them.
And you could also tell the new chief what did you apply for next summer? Hopefully you'll get it.
I'm applying to go to the USA Games in swimming.
In what? In Special Olympics? USA Games?
Yeah, in Orlando, Florida.
Oh,
And if she gets
excellent.
chosen, they're only picking 2 swimmers from the state of Vermont.
As long as
Oh,
She's one of the
wow.
top contenders. She really is an awesome swimmer.
That's awesome. Let me tell you something. I have always supported Special Olympics. I used to go to all the Special Olympics in New Jersey. Used to go
Yeah.
every year, and I go up one and I put give the medals.
Well,
Yeah.
we may
Well,
be
Emma
calling
used
you
to-
for some of this stuff because
Emma
we
used
have a
to
Wyndham
run.
County branch.
Emma used
right
to
here,
run
yes.
with the
torch-
torch runners,
torch
and they
runners.
start here at the police station, and then she's run like a mile down the road.
We have pictures of her running with the state police.
Outstanding.
State police is very involved in Special
Yes,
Olympics.
Special Olympics. Yes, yes. Outstanding. Outstanding. So you definitely need to come and say hello to me at my office. Okay. When you have time. Okay.
Yeah, we'll make time.
Oh, okay. That sounds
All right.
good.
Well, you have other folks to meet.
Thank
but
you.
Great to meet you.
Bye bye.